It's me, Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts. I'm just watching the sun come down and it's raining. It's very odd. There must be a rainbow somewhere. So who thought I had forgotten that I was going to do Top Tip Tuesday live today? I didn't forget. I have remembered. It's later than usual. It's just coming up to 8 o'clock in the UK. And it's later than usual because I've been filming all day for class. And I've decided to go late because my husband has a rehearsal this evening for a musical group he is part of. I'm going to get blinded by this sun. It's nice, don't get me wrong. So he's got a rehearsal in the house, and they're still practicing. It's a little painful on the ears sometimes. So hello, Judith. Raining with you too. It's very odd here. As I say, the sun is going down, and you can probably see it coming in through, reflecting onto me, and yet it's raining. Very odd, very odd. Anyway, so Bow 101. I'm going to show you some tricks that I have for tying bows. Famous last words, they're going to go wrong. Bow tying on camera is something else. Bow tying in the privacy of your own home is easy with a bit of practice. Bow tying on camera, not so much. So I'm going to flip the camera down as ever and we will get started. So I have got, hello Wendy, long time no see, I hope you are well. I've got a box of soft pastel assortment. It just happened to be a box. It's no more, no less than that. And the lag on the chat tonight, I'm afraid, is very, very long. I am looking at something that isn't yet flipped down, but I know that I am flipped down. So it's going to be very odd. So I'm going to use this for just tying bows around, but I'm going to start with my really easy bow. I've always known this as an Auntie Betty bow, because my Aunt Betty used to use this method of tying a bow. I've also heard of it used as the bunny ears bow, but you just take your piece of ribbon and you make 2 loops, and you take one loop, doesn't matter which, you take one loop, cross it over the other and tuck it into the hole that you have now created. Let me make it a bit longer. You're doing okay. I'm very pleased to hear it. I would rather you were doing a lot, doing really well, but doing okay is not bad. So our 2 loops, take one over the other, doesn't matter which way, then tuck it into the loop that you've made underneath and pull the loops, forget about the ends for the moment, pull your loops and then just adjust to the sort of size you want your loop. And you can play with this a lot or a little, depending on how things go. And there is your bow. And this is what it looks like on this side. And then if you turn it over, it's very much the same on the other side, but it's a very simple bow. It would be a bow for adding as an embellishment. And then you can just cut the end to the size you want. So let me show you that again. I might actually bring out a thicker ribbon. So this is the new natural finish ribbon. So again, doesn't matter how big your ribbon is or how wide your ribbon is, take one end and a loop, the other end and a loop, cross one side over the other, and I always do left over right. Let the end flip over and then pull to make the bow the size you want it. And sometimes, particularly with a wide ribbon, you don't want to tighten it too much. You want it just sort of loose so you can get a nice flat knot. And then just adjust your ends and your loops until you have the bow that you want. And that is your bow. And again, you can just pull it and undo it. Now, as I say, I normally do left over right. I'm going to go completely wrong now and go right over left. So right over left, pull this one through, let your loose end flop over, and just adjust your loops. And you can hold the loop and do it that way, so you've got a bit more control, and then just adjust your loops. So you have your bow, and that's one side and that's the other side, but really simple. And then just pull it and you have released. Now I've used that method for, these are for some swaps I'm making for this size bow. It's exactly the same, just small. It's a bit fiddly, I have to say, in the metallic bow, in the metallic ribbon, but it's doable. So you can do it any size you want. This is exactly the same. Now what I would say with this is I've actually stopped it from coming undone by using a little dot of multi-purpose liquid glue, left it to dry, and then I'm using more glue to adhere it to the top of my Splish Splash swimming costume. Hello Rachel! So just one more time, take your ribbon, and I'm going to do it the way that's easier for me. Hello Beverly! Love proper bows, dislike crooked wonky ones. Well, hopefully I will be showing you proper bows, apart from this, which is my Auntie Betty bow. So get your ribbon, and this is a thick ribbon. Doesn't matter if you do left over right or right over left. I'm going to go take my left ribbon, or my left loop, cross it over my right loop, take the loop through this hole that we've now formed, take the end, let it flip over the top, and then simply adjust your loops so that they are how you want them. Now if you've got a single-sided ribbon, this is where you would do all your twisting. We haven't got a single-sided ribbon at the moment. No, that's not single-sided, so I can't show you that, and I don't even think I've got a single-sided ribbon to hand. But you can just keep adjusting until you've got the size bow that you want. You can either cut your ends at an angle, so you can just cut them diagonally to make a nice end. Obviously this is a very long end. Or what you can do is you can fold your ribbon in half, particularly with a wider ribbon. And now some people think this is bad luck, just saying. Take your scissors and from the outside towards the fold, go from low down on the outside up to the fold, and you get a nice fishtail. Thank you Beverly, I'm glad I've passed muster. Whether the next ones will, I don't know, but you can do a fishtail. As I say, some people think that's bad luck. I'd worked in a florist's when I was still at school as a, well, I was going to say a Saturday job, actually it was a holiday job, and some people, we tended not to do a fishtail because some people didn't like them. They thought they were bad luck. Right, so that is how to tie just a bow. If you want to tie a ribbon on a box, we're into a different ball game. So hence I've got my soft pastel assortment, and this is some of the cotton ribbon. So it's the real red, faux linen ribbon. Apologies, faux linen, because it's made of polyester. So it's definitely faux. And I've just got a length. So I want to tie a bow that's a pretty bow on the front of my box so that it's going left to right, not skew-wampus. And I want a flat base. Now, I always used to do my parcels by, I would get my ribbon and I'd do it like that, and I'd cross them at the bottom, so this would be the base, and I'd cross them like that, and I'd bring it round, and then I'd tie the bow, which is fine, except you end up with this rather ugly base. no, we don't do that now. So we take our length of ribbon, and with a reasonable amount hanging over the edge, and this is going to depend slightly on how wide your ribbon is and also how long you want your tails, but I've got about 8 inches probably there. I'm going to pick up my box, hold that ribbon with my thumb, take my loose end, wrap it underneath, so I'm going under and towards me. Then I'm going to go, still holding this end, I'm going to take this up the top. It's ugly at the moment, don't worry, and round, and the bottom is flat. We have a flat bottom. I'm now going to just shimmy this across a bit, and I'm going to take this end and I'm going to take it over where the loose end is. So we've got our loose end here. I'm going to take it and put it over that, so into that corner, and then back down to the opposite corner, if it would like to come through. Come along. So we've got a tail up in the top left and a tail down in the bottom right, and it will, if you pull it tight, it will kind of sit for a while. Then you take this and you come over the top, go through underneath, and pull tight. Ish. Like I said, it's so much easier when you're not doing it on camera. Let me do that again. So we're going to take our ribbon, make a loop, go over the top. Ooh, should I be going underneath? Trouble is there are so many different ribbons. Hello, Donna. Through the loop, and then pull that way, pull that way. That's better. And then you have your nice tight bow. And the genius of this is that, so there we have our nice bow. Obviously we need to deal with our ends, but we're basically straight across the middle. When you come to untying it, it just all comes undone. So there's no knot to undo. So let me do that again, but a bit faster. So hold our ribbon, come underneath, over the top, up the base, squish all that across. So just wiggle it across, take your loose end. So I'm still holding the end I started with. Take your loose end and pop that into that top left corner, pull it down to the bottom right corner and pull. And at this point, if you wanted to add a tag, this is where I'd put the tag, I'd loop the tag through. So you can do that, and then you do your loop, go over the top, bring that down, bring that down, and you have your bow. And you've got a nice flat bottom. Hello, Linda from Melbourne. Did I say hello, Donna? I think I did say hello, Donna. Can't remember. So there is our first nice pretty bow. But if you only want to put the ribbon round once, so we have our box. Terribly long piece of ribbon, but never mind. So, actually I'm going to go that way. I'm going to tie my half knot like that, make my loop, come over the top. This is where you need 3 pairs of hands. Take your loop through and pull tight. And again, this is the point where you can adjust it. But now we've got our nice ribbon. It could do with being a bit tighter, but apart from that, it's actually going along rather than across. So let me do that again. So I'm going to take my end, give myself a bit more of an end, pop it over the top. No, wrong way, wrong way. Take my end. So my left one is at the top, so I'm going left over right. Always try to go the same way. Hello, you're at work. Shh, I won't tell anyone if you don't. So we've then got the piece at the bottom. We're going to make a loop. We're going to come over the top, back through with our fifth pair of hands, pull everything tight, adjust, whoops, try not to undo your bow, adjust your loops and your ends, and there we would have, if it was not such a long piece of ribbon, a nice straight bow. You make it look so easy. Well, it's not that difficult. Now you can do it round a fork. I haven't quite worked that one out yet. I'm told you can do it round your fingers as well, and it goes something like you do that and then you go, without such a long piece of ribbon, you go through, so you've got your two ends that way, you go underneath, come on, you go underneath everything, and then you bring those ends together, preferably without tying your fingers together. Tie them in a half knot, the ends, like that. Slip it off. Oh, that's actually worked. Good heavens. I'm not normally very good at that. And then you've got your half knot that basically holds a loop in place. So you can pull your ends tight and you've got your bow. Now for this one you do end up with one side that is nice and pretty and the other side that's got the knot. So you'd obviously want that. So let me see if I can remember how to do that and how to untie it. This you do end up with a knot. It's not just a quick undo. And as I say, you can do this with small ribbon. You can do this around the tines of a fork. But I don't have a fork in my craft room. I have a spoon for my embossing powder. But so, say I've seen this. I've never mastered it. So you've got your ribbon. You lie over your fingers. You take your loose end over the top, through the hole. Obviously not with such a long piece of ribbon. And then you tie these two ends together. So you pull this one so you've got it tight and just tie them in a half knot. It's probably easier to do this on somebody else's hand, but as we're doing bow 101, let's do this. So we've got a half knot and our two loops, and you're just tightening that onto basically a loop is in the middle of your knot, but you have got a knot. It's not a loop, it's a knot. And again, you can adjust it as you want, but it's these ends that you're going to pull, not the loop. The loop just runs backwards and forwards under the knot. Or between the knot. So this is the pretty side, where you've got the flat bit of your bow, and you can actually end up with it being quite flat. So this is quite flat. Or you've got the side with the knot. I'm going to have to practice that, because that's quite easy. But you can't untie it. It's a knot that happens to have a loop caught between it. So that would be the only downside. But again, if you're going to make lots of small bows, that doing it around a fork might be the way to go. So there you are, lots of ways of tying knots, from the simple Auntie Betty bow, 2 loops, left over right, through the hole, flip the end over and tie. Effectively you're tying a half knot, adjust your ends and you have a really simple bow that you can use as an embellishment. So if you're looking for an embellishment bow, that's the way to go. Now, if you're doing a card and you want it to look as if you've tied 2 ends together, this is what I always do. Random piece of card. Hadn't planned on this. So I'm going to cut my piece of ribbon. Must clean those scissors. I'm going to grab myself some, this isn't even straight. I'm going to grab myself some Seal Plus. One end, other end. You've now got your nice straight, in inverted commas, get just a single piece of ribbon and tie it in a knot, half knot technically. And you can either have it so it's going straight, and you can obviously move that across if you wish, so you can have that so that it's straight, or if we undo that, you can pull it at an angle and then you've got your 2 ends at an angle. So it's really how you tighten your bow, how you tighten your knot. But rather, it's much easier to get a nice tight finish on that than trying to take a piece of ribbon and tie it in a knot. So if I've got that and then I tie it and I want it to be nice, I've got to keep everything taut, so I may or may not end up with it being exactly how I want it, and I can't move it and stuff. It's also a bulkier knot because it's a double knot. So yeah, just a few ways of using ribbon to tie bows and knots. So I hope you have found that helpful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. I will post this onto my website. I am a little behind on my website, but I will post this onto my website. It will be a very short post because it will be, if you want to know how to tie some knots and bows, go and have a look at my video, because I'm not going to be able to explain it in words that are written down. So as I say, hope you found that helpful. Thumbs up's always appreciated. If you don't already subscribe, you can do that by clicking the button in the bottom right hand corner, then hit that alert button, because during May I am going live at random times, even when I'm supposed to have done this as a static post. So this should have gone live at 8 o'clock this morning, instead of which we're doing it 8 o'clock in the evening. So yes, thumbs up, subscribe. If you're watching the replay, if you've got any questions or comments, please leave those below in the description bar. You can leave a comment there. And I will have the blog post, for what it's worth, linked in the description bar. If you need any Stampin' Up products and you're in the UK, France, Germany, Austria or the Netherlands, you can shop with me, and there's a shopping link in the description bar. Don't forget, very important, that we have a joining offer that is good till the end of May, and you'll get the 5 new in colour ink pads, you'll get the designer series paper, in colour designer series paper, you will get the A4 pack of card, or if you're in North America, the standard 8.5 by 11 mixed pack, and also the new in colour grid paper, which is on its way to me. Can't wait to see it. And that's all free, over and above your usual starter kit offer for whichever region you are in. In the UK, that's £99, including shipping, which of course now is £6.95, so it's an even better saving. So thank you very much indeed. I am going to go and edit a few videos, because I've been doing the videos for a class today, and I need to get those loaded and out. So thank you very much indeed for joining me. Let me just bring the camera back up so I can say goodbye properly. So yes, thank you very much indeed for joining me this evening. Have a fantastic rest of your day wherever you are in the world. Some of you I know are just waking up. or more or less waking up. Sorry, I've got something floated into my face. So have a good rest of your day, however much of the day is left. And I think tomorrow is going to be another kind of, it doesn't know whether it's going to be wet or dry, sunny or cool. But hopefully it will be a good day. So thank you very much indeed. I will see you again very soon.